Hotep, Hotep. Yeah, this video is about the origin of secret societies and the modern and ancient use of mythology. Yeah, the farthest we can trace secret societies to is ancient Kemet, particularly the craft of Amun-Ra, craft of Ptah, the temples at Luxor. All of these different temples were crafts, where craft means school, institution, and this is where the modern lodges, the Masonic lodges, a lot of them are copying what the African ancestors were doing. And the reason for a secret society is because everybody can't handle the same information. There was never a time in history, and there never will be a time where everybody can accept certain facts. And the secret society members of the ancient world were the king, the priest, and all high political figures. The same way in today. The lodge members of today are the presidents and congressmen, senators, so on and so forth. Yes, and this is meant to keep secrets because, like I said, everybody can't handle the truth, and a lot of people will go crazy with certain information. And on mythology, the oldest we can trace mythology to would also be ancient Kemet, even though those stories come from the Nile, Nubia, Ethiopia, but they were actually put into writing in ancient Kemet. So that's where we would go with the foundation of all mythology. And even back then, mythology was used to control society. Not control society where you got the people brainwashed until they believe in the God outside himself. Even though Kemet at times probably got corrupt, definitely got corrupt at times when you're dealing with human beings. There will always be people that become greedy and start lying to people. And the initiates were the only ones that knew what all of the stories meant. So to become an initiate, you would ask questions. The regular person would see, for example, Heru has a falcon head, and he wouldn't question that. That is just a symbolic representation of something. It's not an actual human with a bird head. So if you never ask that question, then you won't be told the answer. Just like in today's society, most people believe in the mythology, whether it be Islamic mythology, Christian mythology, Judaic mythology. They believe in this stuff to be real historical facts because they haven't been initiated into the systems to know exactly what all of the stuff means. It's all some symbolism based off of the Kemetic. So a lot of these people wouldn't be able to, just like when you tell some people that Jesus is just mythology and it's based off of the sun, they can't handle this kind of stuff. And we tell them that there is no heaven and hell. A lot of people who could go crazy too. You're dealing with a lot of people who've been damaged and been lied to for a lot of years. Their parents been believing this stuff. So to keep the society, mythology is used to keep society in order, and it has been used for thousands of years by the leaders. They knew who could handle what, and whether if you're a righteous leader, you would know your people. You would know what to tell your people to keep them going into a positive direction. Whereas now we have leaders who are using mythology to keep people going in a negative, hopeless direction. See, the secret societies, they are definitely necessary though. Will teach you about the whole universe and how the ins and outs work of it. That's what the Kemetic explained. And the same thing with the lodges. They have some very powerful information. And in the ancient world, the only people that had political power were the initiates, those members of the craft. It's the same thing today. But back then you became a Tsar, and you were raised up as a Tsar, and this raised up represented a new state of consciousness from a dead person who doesn't have any knowledge to the knowledgeable, intelligent person. And this is the same thing as the Masonic, raising a man from the dead, 33 degrees. When he's above 33 degrees, he's above freezing. It's the same thing. And the Kemetic was ruled by a bloodline. You had Ramses the First, Ramses the Second, Seti, which was their grandfather. It was a bloodline until a new bloodline came in and either conquered the last bloodline or it was a power exchange. The same thing as today, but the difference is we are not aware that it's a bloodline that's running the planet. And many of us, they have dumbed down the people so bad that people can't even comprehend that, because they tell you, and what people will say it's a coincidence. But see, and it's the mythology, like I'm saying, is used to keep people distracted and hopeless. They think those stories are real, but the people who run a society, they want to keep people on that level, because if you believe those stories can be real, then you will believe anything. But mythology can definitely be used to empower people. I recommend that all black people, we study the Asarian resurrection, because that story will tell you so much about human nature. You got Asar being turned on by his brother. You got his son avenging him. These are all aspects of you, by the way. It shows so much that we go through in this realm. Whoever the people that created that story were geniuses, and they touched on all different topics and how it affects us. So I would definitely recommend studying mythology, but don't get into the worship of it and the believing of something outside of self. That's how mythology is used today by the secret societies for mind control. Okay, I'm going to end it on that. Hotep.